players outside my top 60 that I need to add, I can make those additions. But
yes, that'll work. What's up, guys? Tuning to Sports Head Radio. I'm your gracious host, Emmanuel. Yeah, I'm with my boy Chris Ransom from Draft Utopia. Thank you for joining. And I got my boy Tony. You know what I'm saying? Tony Mac Music live here on YouTube. And I got my man Jake, man. And obviously his Knicks won the finals. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
I got to get the
I
scoreboard up.
said
Emmanuel's
Spurs in
Tar Heels
6.
are playing in the College World Series. It's Game 3. Emmanuel's Tar Heels, they might make a comeback and beat the Sooners.
Hey,
It's a championship.
I hope so. Hey, that's one of my favorite schools. You know what I'm saying? Especially college basketball school.
Yeah, it stinks that North Carolina had to play USC in the Super Regional, but I think you were pulling for whichever one of those schools got through. That's who you were pulling for to win it.
Exactly. Jake already got a taste of a little bit of my Tar Heel fandom. Yeah, on the live. Yeah, you already got a taste of it, but
yo, I just gotta apologize real quick to my New York Knicks. I gotta be real. I did take San Antonio in 6. We all remember. I really thought that Victor Wembanyama was going to play a lot better than he did. He still was obviously the leading scorer for the team, but the blunders at the end of the game that this San Antonio Spurs team had in almost all 5 games, they even almost lost the game that they were up. They win by like 7? They almost lost that game too. They almost got swept, honestly, and I'm shocked. Have we ever really heard of a Spurs team getting absolutely dogged in the NBA Finals? No. They usually go 6, 7 games.
Right.
Almost every time.
Yeah. The Spurs just laid an egg. You know, I think a lot of it is due to the experience in regards with the players not being in that position. Remember, this team did not make the playoffs the previous season, Tony. You know what I'm saying? And then the following year, they go to the NBA Finals. So a lot of people could say, yeah, the Spurs are ahead of schedule, or they overachieved. You know what I'm saying? Based on what they had last year. But I think this is a good time for the Spurs to learn from the mistakes. It's something that they can build upon down the line. My personal opinion. Now, me personally, I kind of blame part of the loss on Mitch Johnson in regards with the lack of adjustments. I wasn't really feeling.
I was gonna say that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And to me, the biggest indicator, what was it, Game 4, if I'm not mistaken, and then De'Aaron Fox, he laid some eggs too. Definitely, he's partially to blame too. Horrible field goal shooting percentage down the stretch.
Sport, what have I been saying for the last week, bro? De'Aaron Fox was a negative -21 over all 5 games. That's embarrassing. But
it's embarrassing.
Go ahead.
No. It's embarrassing for a guy who's getting paid over $51 million, this season. And they're relying. I understand he's a veteran guy, and they're relying on him to close games. But some of those mistakes, those ill-advised shots, wasn't great. I don't understand why they flown the offense through Fox. It should go through Wemby. Wemby missed some critical free throws too. Let's just call spade a spade. He missed some critical free throws. Then you have De'Aaron Fox. You poke the ball. You're in position, to run the clock out, but you didn't. You went for the layup. If you would just probed, run out the clock, force the Knicks to foul you, the series would have been tied 2-2. And not only that, this would mind boggle me. And Jake, you probably heard this from the TikTok lives, because I don't know if you were in the live when I said one of the guys was was talking about Mitch Johnson's inexperience not to put pressure on the inbound on OG. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's not inexperience. As a coach, any level of coaching, I don't care if it's AAU, elementary, middle, college, or NBA, it doesn't matter. The golden rule that is taught, you always pressure the inbound passer. Why? Because he could be the most dangerous guy on the court in late game situations.
And he was wide open.
And he was wide open. And what happened?
He was wide open.
And Tone, no pressure. They made Wemby play free safety. And not only that, Fox, why are you trying to come in for the double on Brunson? Wemby's on him. Fox Hudson on the double team opened up a wide open lane for Anunoby to get the tip back, the game-winning tip in to win the game. Tone, that's Fox. That's De'Aaron Fox. That's a prop. You have to understand situational basketball. And people are pointing to these Mitch Johnson. You should have put Wemby on OG to put pressure on the inbound passer, right? Yep. Make them force the ill-advised pass so you can create a turnover and try to win the game. But you played them at free safety. You played it safe, and you let the game come into Brunson and OG's hands, and that was the end of it.
Because remember what happened the possession after, the immediate possession after. Remember sports? Remember how the immediate possession after when they tried to go for that inbound pass? What happened? Cat was the one guarding the inbound, as it should have been on the other side of the floor for Wemby.
Right.
See, that's the coaching. That's the coaching standpoint of it. Because Mike Brown knew to pressure the inbounder.
Right. And
this has been a recurring theme in 2026. I mean, usually I pick the team that's more complete on paper to win, but, the teams that have won the championships this year have been the more disciplined teams with better coaching.
Yeah.
Whether that's the Super Bowl with Seattle, the Knicks, the Stanley Cup. I felt like the Spurs were had a better lineup on paper. The Patriots had a better lineup on paper. That didn't matter because the Seahawks were better coached, better prepared.
Yep.
And the Spurs, it just, after they cried after beating the Thunder, instead of handling business and saying, all right, we got to focus on these next 4, 5, 6, 7 games. These are the most important games of the playoffs.
Like they won everything.
Instead of going into that mode.
I couldn't believe it. It was some of the, and I always say there's a difference between inexperience and, I'm saying, and
arrogance.
And arrogance and coaching issues and fundamentals. It's the difference between, it's the difference between inexperience and fundamentals. Fundamentals, you're supposed to be known. You're supposed to be taught that. Mm-hmm. One of the fundamentals is you guard the inbounder. That's not due to inexperience. That's guard to inbounding. And people were debating me on that. I'm like, no, you're supposed to know. I don't care. I said, I don't care if you're any level of coaching, you have to understand the golden rule of guarding the inbounder, no matter, especially in a late game situation like this.
Yeah.
Because the result of it, the lack of fundamentals of San Antonio and of the coaching staff really basically fell on the players and ended them losing the game. And not only that, it's a crazy stat, and Jake, you already know this. San Antonio led the series for 72% of the time.
73. No, even worse. Give it another percent. Is 73. 73% of the NBA Finals. They had at least a 1-point lead or more.
Exactly.
So like that, and also on top of it, there was another stat. Tone, I don't know if you heard this, bro, but there was another stat, and this is probably going to shock you as much as it shocked me. There was another stat where the Spurs had led by a combined, over all 5 games, they led by a combined 57 points in the first quarter. Like, bro, what are we, Tone, you feel me, bro? Like,
crazy.
57 points, and you lost 4 out of those 5 games? It's insane. I don't get it. I don't get it. It was the craziest NBA Finals I've ever seen in my life. Because it just doesn't, even as a Knicks fan, I'm happy. 53 years of hell, finally over. But what does not make sense is just how those games finished. They were some of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life. You're up 29. You're up 15. You're up 20. You're up, like, bro, you're up 15 points or more every single game. Oh, man, it made me mad as a basketball fan, Tone.
Inexperience.
Yeah, inexperience and fundamentals.
And then you don't really have any veterans.
Yep.
Other than Fox, who is it? Harrison Barnes, Luke Cornett. Like what? What are we talking about?
Did they even play Harrison Barnes?
No,
No,
Harrison Barnes barely played the entire finals. That
no.
tells you everything you need. The man's making $19 million a year, and
Right.
he didn't play.
Didn't
Why are
play at
you
all.
paying this guy almost 20 mil and he doesn't play?
Keldon Johnson, sixth man of the year, didn't play well
Six
at
man
all
a
in the
year was
finals.
cheeks.
He
Booty.
didn't play. He didn't play well. So Keldon
I would have
Johnson,
played Harrison Barnes at that point. Like,
But
right?
honestly, by game 3, they should have benched Keldon Johnson, in my opinion. Because,
Yeah,
and on top of it, they should have started Dylan Harper after game 3. You're telling me that after 3 games of basketball, where you've blown 2 out of those 3 games, because we all know the third game, the refs helped them win that game. Let's be honest, let's call it what it is. You're going to tell me that after blowing 2 leads, getting handed 1 game, that you're not going to bench Keldon Johnson for playing like shit, and you're not going to take De'Aaron Fox off of the bench and start Dylan Harper, who was shooting almost 50% from the damn field and averaging almost 15 points a game, when Fox couldn't even average 10. Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about? It infuriated me as a basketball fan, not even as, like, Knicks, whatever you want to call it. I don't care if this was the Pacers and the damn Grizzlies. Like, the premise would still stand that it was just embarrassing basketball. And I know
yeah,
inexperienced, young, I get that. But man, Wemby is supposed to be, we're talking about him like he's this top 5 player. He's supposed to be the next golden boy. We got the next LeBron James out here, blah, blah, blah. Next Michael Jordan. And he's
right.
going to go
right.
out there and barely even win 1 game? Come on, y'all. That's crazy to me.
And,
He didn't even put up a fight.
to be honest with you, I don't know if Chris, I don't know if you, I said this earlier in the series. I said that Dylan Harper should be the starter after
Yeah.
game 1. I said it. If people were going at me, they're like, "Oh no, no," I'm like, "No, bro. You have to look at the flow of the game. Like, I would have made the adjustment. So right after game 1, like, Harper, you starting, bro. Fox, you're off the bench.
Well, that's
Hey,
the thing. I mean, Frederick Anderson was dominant for most of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but he gives up 4 goals in game 3. What do? They bench him for the young backup, Brandon Bussey. Bussey plays out of his mind the next 3 games, and the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup because they made the adjustment. The Spurs
right.
did not make the adjustment. They sat on what got them there. They sat on their morals. They sat on what got them there, and because they didn't make any adjustments, they go down in 5 games.
And look at every
Yeah,
team that did adjust, by the way. Like you just said, look at every team that did adjust. When the Hawks adjusted after that first game that they barely won, they were able to get another game. Were they not? They were able to
right.
get another game because of the adjustments that they made. The Atlanta Hawks had the blueprint for beating the New York Knicks. They did. But Mike Brown was also able to make adjustments on top of the Quinn Snyder adjustments. And that's why
Right.
the Knicks made it out of that series. But the thing is that Quinn Snyder was the only coach in the entirety of the playoffs that made any adjustments against the Knicks. Kenny Atkinson was talking about analytics. Nick Nurse looked like he didn't even give a shit. He just looked like he was happy to beat Boston. Like, all these
Right.
other coaches just didn't care.
Yeah.
You make it sound like these coaches are like the Monopoly guy in the college humor video where he gets arrested for getting
Oh
lucky
man.
on the community chest card. That you make it sound like the coaches were that bad. Maybe
They
they
Oh
were,
really
man.
Jake.
were. They were. Nick Nurse had no game plan. Look at Philadelphia got swept for a reason. And then look at the Cavs. Kenny Atkinson was up 22. You're up 22 points with 7 minutes to go, and you don't call a single timeout in that 18-0 run that the Knicks had before they scored again, before the Cavs even scored again. It was putrid coaching. It was some of the worst coaching I've ever seen as a fan of basketball. It's just a
Yeah.
fact. 2
Yeah.
straight sweeps? You're telling me that that's not coaching? That is definitely a coaching issue for Philadelphia and for Cleveland. It was embarrassing. At least all these the Timberwolves took the Spurs to 6 games. And
Yeah.
why? Because it was an actual well-coached team. Same thing with the OKC. They were up 3 games to 2. It felt like the West just put up more of a fight. The East didn't put up a fight for anybody. The only real competitive series in the East, the only two, was the Boston Celtics Philly, and it was Raptors and Cavs. Those were the only two competitive series the entire side of the Eastern playoffs. Tell me I'm
Right.
wrong.
No. Now, I'm going back to the whole Dylan Harper thing because now with Fox playing poorly, now you're hearing rumors about Harper's camp. Basically, they're basically like, hey, they're
We
trying to
want a
force their
starting
hand.
role. Yeah.
Yeah, like he
Mhm.
wants a starting role next season, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him. So they're kind of forcing their hand. But this is the problem with that is is that Fox's extension kicks in this summer.
Yeah,
And
and that's a terrible extension.
it's a terrible extension. Now it's going to be hard to trade that contract down the line. It's going to be hard, and I think San Antonio knows they have to give up more picks than they have to in order to get rid of Fox.
Yeah.
I'm talking at least three or four. We'll have to pull the trick. We'll definitely pull it off, but other than that, it's gonna be difficult on the end to try to trade Fox. So Spurs,
Interesting.
yeah. I mean the good news is they're top 10 in the league in most cap. I believe they have like under $13 million in cap, so they have a little flexibility compared to other teams.
Wait, that's San
So
Antonio, right?
yeah,
That's got that. Yeah.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I was thinking, Sport? Honestly, if we could really and Tone, let me see what you think about this, right? I was thinking that with the whole thing that went on in Houston and how Houston really needs a point guard, right? I was thinking that with the trajectory that their team is on, because Jabari Smith Jr. is not that bad. If you wanted to trade Kevin Durant to the San Antonio Spurs, you wanted to get draft capital, and you also wanted to get a really good point guard like a De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox isn't bad. De'Aaron Fox just does not fit well with San Antonio, and there's bad blood in the water. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so if you were able to ship off De'Aaron Fox, we're able to get draft compensation back or no, sorry, and able to ship out a little bit of draft compensation. My bad. If you were able to get rid of Fox and a little bit of draft compensation, bring in Kevin Durant and maybe like we'll say one of their youngish guards, like I'm pretty sure Josh Okogie is on that bench or something like that. If you were able to do that, I think that the Spurs end up a net better team because we've been talking about what do the Spurs need? They need a physical four that is lanky, that can stretch the floor, that can guard 1 through 5, just like Wemby. And who better
Right.
for that than Kevin Durant? Even at his older age, who better for that than KD?
Absolutely. KD will take pressure off of Wemby because people aren't going to leave KD open.
Oh no! You can leave Carter Bryant open. You
Yeah,
can leave
you're not going
Harrison
to leave
Barnes
KD
open.
open.
You ain't leaving KD open. Yeah,
You're
damn.
not leaving KD open.
Hey, honestly, Carter Bryant should have had more minutes than Keldon Johnson. I'm gonna throw that
Yeah,
out there.
he should have. He
Yeah.
should have.
I'm gonna throw that out there. I've forgot about Carter Bryant, but and everything. But he should have some more
I
time.
think I think personally, if they did this trade, now hear me out, right? Because I think that this really, really helps the Spurs because we're obviously going to talk about, what the Knicks need to do to get back next year and what the Spurs need to do to get back next year.
Right, yeah.
If it just a segue into that, since we were basically talking about that anyways, I really think that the Spurs need to try everything they can to get Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's going to cost less than Giannis. It also gets you off of the Dylan Harper contract, and also you could even trade a guy like say, what if you threw Keldon Johnson into that deal? To then, hear me out, you get Kevin Durant and you also get Tari Eason. Tari Eason can play 2-4. He can play shooting guard, small forward, and power forward. Something that Keldon Johnson is not necessarily the biggest size to do. So then you get two really, really solid, serviceable wings. And obviously, one of them being Kevin Durant. But so, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're in a better position at that point because you could then just turn around and be like, hey, Chris Paul, you sure that you're retired, buddy? You want to come play some bench guard minutes behind Dylan Harper? Nah, real
Right.
talk. Real talk. That might not be a bad idea.
They shouldn't have
18.
never let him go.
I know. He was
Yeah.
playing so well with them with Victor. He was.
Right. No, you
Even
know
at
what's
his
funny?
age 38 season. Yeah.
You know Isaiah Thomas, the one who's played for the Celtics.
Yeah.
He said, I think on a podcast, he said if the Spurs would have had Chris Paul, the Spurs would have won a title. That's what he said out his own
They would have
mouth.
been a lot closer.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, excuse me, but KD. I mean, KD will definitely help him in the closing games wise.
And
I
that's
can
their
see that.
biggest issue. They haven't been able to close out.
Right, and not only that, we all agree they need to figure out a way to improve when Wemby's not on the floor. Notice they can't. It's hard for them to recover. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Luke Cornett just is not the type of center that can back up a guy like Victor Wembanyama, because when we look at it, the teams with the best centers, all of their issues right now, and I'm going for like Joel Embiid, Victor, and Jokic, all of them have the same problem. None of them have a good backup center. None of them.
Well, truth be told, Cornette is actually one of the top centers in terms of defending centers within the post and being efficient in rebounding. But this is the problem that nobody's talking about. It was a bad matchup because Carl could take centers off the dribble, which Cornette was struggling compared to the OKC series where Chet did not take advantage whatsoever, and he was indecisive with his footwork in result of the Thunder not getting to that next step and getting to that finals. So Tony, you see the difference though? Cat made the adjustments like, okay, Cornette, I know he's a good defender in the post. If I take him off the dribble because he's not as quick as me, I could get to the foul line, you know what I'm saying? Or I could score, get to the basket and foul, get him in foul trouble. Then it forces more pressure on the Spurs to be more efficient with Wemby that's on the court. But the problem is the Spurs haven't figured it out. That's been their whole Achilles heel, Tone. They have to figure out a way to be more. I will love Bobby Portis, but from what but I don't believe. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be difficult. I don't think they're going to be in the whole Giannis sweepstakes deal. And I know there's rumors about Jaylen Brown being a Spur, but that kind of died off. So it's really
the Timberwolves are out of it too. I heard the Celtics, they only want to give up Jaylen Brown, Hugo Gonzalez, and 1 first-round pick and maybe a second-round pick swap. That's all they're willing to give up. And
I feel like getting rid of Hugo, in my opinion, not to cut you off, I really like Hugo Gonzalez's game. He's one of them like bigger guards that can also play point guard, like a 6'6" frame. I feel like he's really good. I know that they're trying to win now, but man, whoever gets Hugo Gonzalez is going to get a really good player if he does get traded.
Like that would be a good trade for both teams. I mean, I know the Celtics have 2 quality guards, even with Hugo on the bench, but I feel like that's a really beneficial trade for both teams, and I'd probably take that deal. But the Heat have offered multiple first-round picks, but the problem is the player you're getting back isn't as good as Jaylen Brown.
That's why I was telling my friend, I don't want Tyler Hero. I'd much rather have Jaylen Brown. 100%. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Hero is a negative, just net minus defender. He's not good on defense. I have said this for years. You can go and give me 20, 25 points, cool. But if the guy you're guarding has 40, I don't give a damn about what you score.
And this is the problem I have with Pat Riley and 2G and Tone. You know this. You always sell the player at the highest point in order to get maximum value.
Should have done it 2 years ago.
Yeah, meets 3 years ago, 3 seasons ago. They should have traded for him. But Pat, you held on to him for too long, and an impossible result. You might not even get Giannis in this deal. So Boston might come up on this deal. Truth be told, because why? They got the better player in Jaylen Brown, who led the team. See, Brad Stevens thinking smart. Who led the team when Tatum was out into playoff contention, right? Able to close out games. And in my personal opinion, Jaylen Brown to me was a top 3 MVP candidate. My personal opinion. How the way he carried the Celtics, you know what I'm saying, throughout that season.
It's not ridiculous to say that. It's not ridiculous to say that.
No. Jaylen Brown carried a team, and I feel like Hero can't carry a team. Brown could play both ends.
Well, because Hero can't play defense.
He can't.
He can't.
And if you're Miami, I mean, if you're Pat Riley, bro, like it's damn near almost too little, too late in a way, in my personal opinion, in regards with that. So I mean, we'll see. Somebody asked a question: when does the draft start? It starts tomorrow. By the way, so I think somebody on Twitch.
Let me look at the chat room. I've been multitasking. That's on me. I'll get in
No, it's okay.
Whenever there's a blue dot, it means someone comments in the chat room. And this is on Twitch. When does the draft start? There are 2 drafts this week. The NBA draft, 8 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow and Wednesday. The NHL draft, that's first rounds Friday at 7. Rounds 2 through 7 are 11 a.m., I believe, on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the good news is I don't have 4 consecutive days of covering the draft, because the last 2 years it was NBA Wednesday, NBA Thursday, NHL Friday, NHL Saturday. You get that extra day off before NHL starts on Friday, but the next 2 days are going to be fun.
Yeah. So absolutely. Now, Tone, what were your thoughts on the finals? I know we were going all over the place with it, but what were your thoughts on the NBA finals?
I kind of figured it was going to go that way. You definitely know that the referees were trying to help. You could see it. You could see them trying to help the Spurs. I think Wemby let the hype mess his game up. He could have done a lot better. He could have scored a lot better. He could have been more to the basket. This staying outside of the paint, and you're 7 foot, 5?
Yep.
And you're out shooting threes.
He was playing like Kevin Durant, bro. Like, it was weird.
Right. You should have been dominating the paint. You should have been dominating. And I think that's where he got messed up. I think he, again, got a little cocky because everything as far as media was all about him. You know, I know they were talking about the New York Knicks and how they hadn't won, but everything was like, Wemby's the future. This is he's the face of the league, and Wemby this, Wemby that. And I think all of that got to his head.
Easily.
Because now he's acting like he was acting like Dylan Brooks to me.
Oh yeah, like remember Memphis back when they were when they started getting hot and they played the Lakers in the playoffs. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
that's exactly how he was acting. Yep.
He was acting like I'm supposed to win. I'm the chosen one. You guys are not.
Acting
no
like
matter what
tough.
you do. Right. He's got to, that's why you need a veteran to calm him down and keep your head in the game. Keep your head on what we're, trying to do here. And until he gets that, because right now, he's the villain.
Oh, yeah.
He did in the press conference. What do you do that for?
See y'all, never. Right. Bro, what? He sounded like a little like a high school girl that just got broken up.
Right. What did you do? Practice that in the bathroom?
Facts. Practice that shit in front of the mirror. Yo, you funny, Tone. That's a fact. He was.
So he's got to, somebody's got to get him back to just play the game. Be the big man. Don't worry about being on the outside. Yes, you can shoot. Yes, all of that. But I didn't like the fact that they kept letting him bring the ball down. Why do you have a 7'5" dude bring the ball down?
Because it's cool and it's new and it's all exciting and blah blah blah. It's so dumb.
Sorry.
My Tone, my whole thing with this, right? And I love where you came with that about the whole Victor Wembanyama carrying the ball. It made no sense to me because also, we just talked about it. Even if he sucked, let's be real, you're paying a guy $50 million to just stand there. You're paying De'Aaron Fox all this money. Why is Victor Wembanyama bringing the ball down the court? Gentlemen, you guys have anything to add to that? Like, can y'all explain that to me? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense.
It really
Like
doesn't.
it doesn't make sense for you to get rid of Chris Paul.
Yeah, at that point, if you're just gonna have De'Aaron Fox stand there and look like like he's modeling for GQ or something,
Right.
like it's crazy to me.
So that's pretty much what I saw. Again, the Knicks, they played a hell of a game. They were playing for their life,
Well,
basically.
yeah. Could you imagine if they lost? New York would have
Oh
been.
my God!
Oh
If they
God.
had a loss,
I'm sorry. The reason I'm laughing is I just got an email from Tony Mario, who does the NFL Power Rankings at Draft Utopia, and it's about the NBA Finals. I was torn because neither one of them really had much experience yet, not even the Knicks. But yeah, if they keep playing the way they've been playing, they've got a chance to be a dynasty type of team. And,
right?
the crazy thing is I've got the Knicks in the 27 NBA Finals losing, then I've got them winning against Minnesota in 28. So I kind of agree with Tony. I don't think they will be 2000s Lakers, but I think if they can repeat next year, we are looking at that possibly happening. But it's too early to say. And then this is pretty funny. They're going to be replacing the nuns with different nuns now. They're talking about the nuns in Spurs uniforms.
Where'd
Tony
sports go?
Mario. He got a picture of nuns in Spurs uniforms.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
Is Sportshead all
Yeah.
right? Did he disappear?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
still
I
here,
think he
guys.
did.
My audio not working?
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
I
you.
can see and
Emmanuel
hear you. Yeah.
disconnected for a second.
Oh, there he is. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
back.
I got confused. My fault. My bad.
No, I was losing connection for some odd reason.
Oh, you
Well,
good?
now
You
we
good?
got this from
Yeah.
Mo Dudley. I think Wemby celebrating after the Western Conference Finals and being emotional made it seem like they were no way they were going to lose to the Knicks. And then the Knicks basically saw that and said, this team is slaw. They are weak. We are going to take advantage of this and take care of business.
Josh Hart said it himself.
Yes.
Josh Hart said, yeah. Oh, yeah, and sorry. Also, by the way, just a little segue real quick. Sorry, I got to say this for Jalen Brunson. Hey, Becky Hammond. Who's too short? Huh? Huh, Becky? Who's too short? Who's too short to lead a team to the NBA championship? Who's too short to be the leading scorer, drop 45 in game 5, and send San Antonio packing? Yeah, Becky. Yeah, all right. Sorry, I can't stand that woman. Who
no.
said that Jalen Brunson couldn't be 1A?
Here is some jalapeno cheddar dry cornbread, Becky Hammond, courtesy
Here we go with the
Jalen
cornbread.
Brunson.
Here we go.
Man.
You get the jalapeno flavor, the extra spicy,
Whoa.
Becky Hammond. You get the extra spicy cornbread.
Yeah, I'll say this though, and I think the problem with a lot of the women analysts from the WNBA or coaches that are currently coaching is that this is my opinion. The problem with them is they're so focused on the game of the WNBA in terms of how the way it's played, and they feel like it's easily transferable to what the NBA is played. No, the NBA game is much more progressive than the WNBA, but you do see spurts of the game of the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be progressive, but the reality is the WNBA, the physicality of the WNBA is way more physical than the NBA. I don't know if you guys been watching lately. Like so you really so in WNBA guards they do make a difference, but not at the impact of where the NBA is at. Based on how the way the game is played, I feel like Becky is missing that element in regards to how the game of the NBA is currently changing. You know what I'm saying?
And also, Jalen Brunson learned a lot from Dirk. We all saw them post fade, one-legged post fades. Jalen was taking one-legged post fades over Devin Vassell, over Vic, over Stephon Castle. Yo, Jalen Brunson showed that it don't matter how tall you are. Isaiah Thomas walked so Jalen Brunson could run. And I'm talking about Celtics IT. Walked so that Jalen Brunson could leap.
Yeah, no, that definitely I agree with. Hey, Chris, I don't know if you gave your thoughts of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I felt like the Spurs, game one, Towns was just outplaying Wemby. That's why the Knicks won game one, and then it was just games 2 and 5, the Knicks won because the Spurs were just undisciplined, and they couldn't sustain what they did at the beginning of the game for 60 minutes. They didn't make any adjustments, like Jake said. So they won game 3. That was partially due to the officials. And after game 3, I was saying, this is going to be over in 5 or 6 unless the president goes to every other game and the Spurs handle business at home. That is the only way. That's the only way they're coming back, and that did not happen. What ended up happening is we got the first of 1999. Because remember, 99, the Knicks' only win was in game 3, and then the Spurs won the other games of the 99.
It was the same thing this year.
Yep.
Just the opposite.
Just the opposite result. It was the same result, just the opposite team, opposite
teams, same finals, literally.
Yeah, literally. Crazy. Yeah.
I did say that OG Anunoby was going to be the biggest X factor in the series.
And he was.
So I said it. I said OG Anunoby was going to be the biggest X factor. Now,
oh yeah, he was phenomenal. He played.
Yeah. He could have won Finals MVP if Brunson didn't do what he did in Game 5.
Yeah, I agree.
But you see how he was playing. That's how Wemby should have played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
Like Kawhi Leonard.
He played like.
Yeah.
He was like, I know I'm playing with the team, but I got to help the team.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No,
yeah.
While
when we're down, if we're down, if we're up, I'm still going to play hard.
And Tone, did I not tell you that OG was going to walk out there like Kawhi Leonard? I said that before when we had I know that I took the Spurs in like 6 or 7 games, but I said that OG was going to walk out there looking like 2019 Kawhi, and he did.
I'm going to say this with OG, and what I like about OG is he has a defensive IQ to the game that doesn't really get talked about, Tone. He doesn't get talked about enough in regards to a defensive IQ to the game, and he feels he knows how to feel the game defensively. He feels, you know what I'm saying? Like he
learned that from Kawhi.
He understands the flow of the game defensively more than a lot of defenders, you know what I'm saying, in the league. If I'm not mistaken, OG Anunoby was one of the top rated defensive players throughout the playoffs.
Yep. Yes, he was.
And he was at the very top based on player net rating. OG Anunoby was at the top, Tone, and that explains a lot. I love his game because he could fill in his role, and actually, and at times he could just plays like an all-star. Okay, yeah. Most said this is the most physical series we've seen in a while.
And he also pointed out when OG's a third option, it makes his job a lot easier, which I agree.
Definitely,
mm-hmm.
Definitely. No,
it was kind of like in 2019. Like again, funny enough, like I keep talking about Kawhi Leonard. It was like, y'all remember how it was Kawhi and Pascal, but then you had Fred VanVleet just lighting it up. You know what I mean? It's kind of almost the same thing with OG. Like, you got Brunson and Cat really manning the offense, but then OG in that third option role. I mean, come on, let's be real. Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, decent defenders, but they can't guard OG. They just can't. Especially with no help. Shit, good luck.
Right. Yeah. And Karl Anthony Towns, to me, he was more of a defensive X factor for that team,
which is crazy, surprising to me.
He was a defensive X factor for that team, so I have to give credit where credit is due. But does anybody have anything else to talk about the finals before we move on?
One more thing that I wanted to say was that I just wanted everybody to realize that this was probably the best season of basketball that we've had in a long time. There was actual physicality in the playoffs, other than obviously the refereeing during, OKC and San Antonio, and then it leaked into the NBA Finals a little bit. Honestly, the Knicks probably should have swept the Spurs, but the reffing and all that, and also the Knicks didn't play that well Game 3 anyways. So a fair game to them going to go grab one, but hey, I just want to tell everybody I am so happy. I'm sorry. I got to say, I'm the Knicks fan here. I've been waiting my entire life for this. I watched this team go 17-65, bro. I watched this
Yeah.
team win 17 games. And guess who was on that team? Mitchell Robinson, baby. And now he's got that jewelry, baby. He's got that ring, baby. Thank God. I'm just so happy for him. I just wanted to say that because that man deserves that ring, bro. Shout out Mitch Rob, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Jake.
Shout out Mitch Rob.
Hey, Jake, your mic.
Your audio, Jake. Maybe it's I'll get back in the room.
I don't know if his audio was off.
Yep.
I think the best part of the NBA Finals was the New York fans and the people of New York booing the hell out of Donald Trump.
Okay, there is a list of teams that have not won a championship.
Let's start off with the Clippers.
There were only few teams with longer championship droughts than the 1973 Knicks. There were only a few teams, not a lot. There's a few teams. There's only 3 teams that had longer championship droughts.
Is it working better now, guys? Am I good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Good.
All right. See,
There
it
were
was
3
my
teams with
Wi-Fi.
longer championship droughts. All right. So the 3 teams that had longer championship droughts than the Knicks, because after the Cubs won the World Series, the Knicks had the longest championship drought. So the 3 teams that had longer droughts than the Knicks, in the NFL, you had the New York Jets. In the NHL, you had the Toronto Maple Leafs, their last championship, 1967. They are approaching almost 60 years without a Stanley Cup. Sorry, Toronto. And then the Cleveland Indians, their last World Series came in 1948.
Yeah.
And they are approaching year 78 without a World Series. So those are the only 3 teams that had longer championship droughts than Jake's Knicks. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, congrats. Now, my thing is, okay, we kind of already discussed what San Antonio needs to improve. The Knicks, I'm just going to keep it short. They don't really need to change too much of everything. They just have to figure out ways to re-sign, you know what I'm saying, like the extensions for the key guys. But
they got Diawara. They got Diawara back.
I seen that.
Every starter's under contract till 2028, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Towns and Hart are UFAs in 2028, and everyone else is under contract in the starting lineup.
Bro,
Bridges,
look out for
Hart.
Mohamed Diawara, boys. I'm telling you all, that guy is
This is why I
next
kind
up,
of agree
bro.
with Tony Mario that the Knicks might be the dynasty of this decade. It just depends. But we've said that people said that about the Nuggets after they won, they fell apart. People said that about
the Bucks.
The Bucks, they fell apart. People said that about the Warriors. They're not done. They fell apart.
I'll
People
take the
said that
one
about
championship,
Celtics.
bro.
Right. People said about the Celtics, they're somewhat falling apart. They're somewhat falling apart, but you can tell they're trying to get back to.
They're not falling apart, Emmanuel. It's just there's cracks. There are very obvious cracks, and if you point that out, the ghost of Red Auerbach gets very angry.
Oh man! Now I can see now. Now you have Clarkson, you have Mitchell Robinson. They're unrestricted free agents. Then I believe Alvarado has a player option, if I'm not mistaken, or honest. So he can become a free agent. And by the way, he just signed a deal with Jose
Bro,
Alvarado.
he was so
Shout out to
good.
him.
He was so good. Jose was great this playoffs. He was also because he literally said that himself. He said I wasn't supposed to be in the league. Like he almost lost his way in the league after New Orleans because that's how obviously how bad New Orleans was. And then they drafted Jeremiah Fears. They signed DeJounte Murray to that big contract. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and no. Mo made a great point. He said, "I see Mitch looking to get a big contract, and Diawara will take his spot." That's what it seems like. Then you had James Dolan on a radio interview, if I'm not mistaken, about a week ago, talk about the team will not go on the second apron. You know, and it seems like he knows there's some key guys that are gonna, on the bench might leave. The possibility they could leave. So I could definitely see.
Yeah. I mean, Landry
I think
Shamet
what the
probably
Knicks are
isn't
going to
getting
do
the
with these
deal.
draft picks is because they've got 31 as well as 26. I think they're going to just draft for depth at center and shooting guard and try to reload so that when Hart and Towns become UFAs, they have guys who are experienced enough to step into those roles so they can just
But
keep running this thing
Chris,
back.
also on top of that, we gotta remember that Shamet probably is gonna get paid. Honestly, because of how good he was shooting in the playoffs, he's probably gonna get paid by another team that needs elite shooting. He's probably gone.
Mo Mitch and
Yeah.
McBride as well could get paid too.
Yep.
And I think McBride stays just because of the fit. I think that the Knicks will try and keep him around.
But Mitchell Robinson is going to be gone.
Mitch is going to get so much money, it's not even funny. He's going to get a big deal.
Hey, come to the Lakers. Hey,
I want Mitchell Robinson. Honestly, if Mitch can't stay with us, I would love to see him catch lobs from Luka because we all saw what it did for Derek Lively. Derek Lively was getting talked about like he was next up at the center position. Now look at him without Luka. He sucks. So like I'm just saying that Mitchell Robinson on the pick and roll with Luka Doncic.
Right.
Oh brother.
I know there was some people saying, on the chat, Tony, you already know. I know one of the guys in our chat, he said that he doesn't want Mitchell Robinson, but if you look at the way how we play in the finals, he was guarding off of switches 1 through 4. I mean, basically all the positions
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
If you look, name me a center that could guard 1 through 5 off of switches, Tone, like Mitchell Robinson. He is top 3 in the league in efficient shot blocking. Number 1, he's an very efficient rebounder. But you say, the problem with Mitchell Robinson is he's not getting the PT like Karl-Anthony Towns.
Bam Adebayo might be the only one.
Yeah, exactly. But
I think Mitchell Robinson would do good on the Lakers, especially with Luka.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he's a horrible free throw shooter, but the shot blocking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The shot blocking, his ability to defend off of switches, which is very important in terms of defensive versatility. That's very important. And I value that. And he game a high volume rebounder, I'll take it, Tone. I'll take it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's my target. Everybody's talking about this Walker Kessler, who's been injury prone for the past couple years, and he's already projected for $200 million extension. Please get out the way. Then you already have, if people are talking about Jalen Duren, you know what I'm saying, about him going to the Lakers. No, get out the way, dude. You couldn't even sniff five rebounds against the Cavs, bro.
Right. No, we already got somebody like that.
Hold on, God, I'm gonna leave and come right back. There's something wrong with my app.
Okay, yeah. Tone. And some of these Laker fans like, I'll take. No, I don't. Look, Jalen Duren, yes, he is a lob threat, but he's not a high efficient rebounder, not consistently. In the regular season, he's good at rebounding, but when the game gets physical, he folds.
Right.
He folds. I seen it. I don't want Jalen Duren. I don't want that big contract. I'd rather get I'd rather overpay for Hartenstein, Tone, than those two guys.
I'm still interested in this this blockbuster trade that you posted with Auntie Miles Turner.
Yeah. But I think that has to involve Giannis and Jalen to be into the deal. The way it's looking, I don't see it happening.
You don't see it happening?
I don't see it right now because it seemed like they're trying to regulate between a two, no 3-team, no 4-team trade. It looks like Milwaukee wants to keep Jaylen Brown, but the rumor was they're trying to trade it because they wanted to get some picks, but now they're talking about they might keep him. So we'll see. The trade's supposed to it's supposed
to happen today, right?
Today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
My gut feeling, Tone, is they're either gonna I believe they're gonna announce it like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
I hope they announce it before I go to the doctor's tomorrow. I really do, because I don't want to have to go through that type of hell where I'm updating the draft results webpage right after I get back from the doctor at noon before 8 p.m. because then I'd be juggling all day.
The trade has to happen because there's current live picks for the Tone that's going to be in this trade. So the trade
like
has
to. Does anybody else hear that?
Yeah, it's in and out.
They're not going to announce it at 6 a.m. That's too early. They're probably going to announce it either at noon while I'm at the doctor, or they're going to announce it on Get Up at 9 a.m.
Right. Something tells me that's going to happen in the morning.
So if it's in the morning, it'll be 6 a.m. your time, right as Get Up is on.
Sorry guys, what are y'all talking about? Because I had to fix myself.
The Giannis trade. When it's going to be announced.
Okay, yeah. Probably, most likely. Y'all saw what Giannis posted on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
No.
He posted. Listen. He had posted a few hours ago, and he said something along the lines of like, God is going to guide me in the right direction, blah blah blah. Basically, like saying like he's probably done in Milwaukee. Like I feel like that was it right there. Him saying like, whatever way it takes me, you know how guys like that are religious are. He was like, God's going to point me in the right direction, blah blah blah. So I really think that it's up. I don't think that there's any repairing this whole relationship. There isn't.
Oh no, he's gone. He's gone from Milwaukee.
Yeah. Because what do you do when you're Milwaukee? You're tied into the Miles Turner contract. You're tied into Kyle Kuzma. You're tied into Bobby Portis. You're tied into all these contracts that just aren't going to get you anywhere to win. Your next best scorer is Ryan Rollins. And how the hell are you going to pay him?
And they bought out Damian Lillard's contract. Keep that in mind too.
Yeah, your best young pieces are however you say his name, Kusami Dieng, and it's Ryan Rollins. That's all the young talent, or Kevin Porter Jr. That's all the young talent you have under 25. Like, you're cooked. I don't know what they do even if they get rid of Giannis. What do you do? Because even if you have Jaylen Brown, there's no good team around him. I mean, like, what are you supposed to do if you're Milwaukee?
They're basically going to start from scratch.
They're probably going to blow up the team at a certain point. I would not be surprised if they're not going to make it obvious as to who wins the lottery, because next year, the lottery odds, it's like, oh, if you're in the 4 through 6 range, you're going to have better odds at number 1 than a team in the 1 through 3 range. It is what it is. I don't want to get into it right now.
These new draft rules suck. I'm sorry.
They do. I mean, they're almost as bad as the MLB with the 6 lottery drawing.
Adam Silver, bro, here's the thing, Utopia, right? Adam Silver just basically ruined exactly what put his favorite lovey-dovey team. The last 2 teams that Adam Silver has been making them calls to referees for has been OKC and it has been San Antonio. And what are both of those teams built on? Having at least like 2 or 3 players that were drafted within the top 5 picks in the last 3 drafts beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 2 teams that built starting 5s or close to super teams through the draft. And you know what?
Exactly.
Because the other teams building super teams doesn't fit the NBA's narrative, what does that mean? They have to pivot. And now because they're pivoting, they're basically a team. They should have made it so that everybody with the bottom 3 record still has a 10% chance at number 1, but it's still more even out, because everybody had a 14.2, 14.3 chance at number 1 this year. They should have made it so that if you're in the bottom 3, you have a 10% chance at number 1, but your odds are still lower than they were. That would have at least made it more competitive. I could at least have understood that. I mean,
that's a great point. Great point.
NBA didn't do their homework on this, and they just voted for this because it's what
because they wanted to change something. They had to change something, which is what they do every single time when they make one of these stupid rules. They did the same thing with what was it? The way they set up the NBA Cup. When they set up the NBA Cup, they didn't even really think about what they were doing, because the NBA Cup sucks too.
The NBA Cup, I've always said, should be for preseason because
And also,
that'll make the guys want to play in preseason. If you notice, none of the stars play in preseason.
and what about this though? Think about this as well, Tone. What if they did something to where it actually rewarded the future of your franchise?
Here's what I
Like,
would do if I were commissioner of the NBA. I would have a mini tournament, and it would be called the First Four. All of the bottom four teams that finished in the bottom four of the lottery would compete in a 1v4, 2v3 tournament. And whichever two teams made the finals of that tournament, they get 1 and 2. They get to play for the number 1 pick. And then there's a third place game, and whoever loses the third place game drops to 4. So there's 4 lottery drawings, and we have a first 4 tournament for the bottom 4 teams. That's how we decide the lottery. You have to play to win. It eliminates tanking, and the worst teams in the regular season still have the best odds at the number 1 pick, but they got to play to win.
yeah.
There you go. Problem solved.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
That's why I was saying the same thing, because like also on top of it, like if we're gonna have such an issue with the the rules and the justification behind the actual draft lottery itself, why don't we have a draft lottery for everybody outside of the top 4, and then the 4 worst teams do that tournament like you were talking about? The draft lottery should only be for 5 and beyond. It really should, because the 4 worst teams are the 4 worst teams for a reason. You're going to sit here and try and tell me that Memphis didn't just suck, that they tried to lose games, that Chicago didn't just suck, that they just tried to lose games? No. If a team is clearly tanking, then that's different. Like if a team has somewhere between anywhere from a top 20 to a top 5 player, and they're losing games, that's obvious tanking. It is. Like with the Washington Wizards, let's be honest, Trae Young didn't play to better their draft odds. Trae Young was not just hurt the entire time. Let's be real, guys. Come on, we're not gonna sit here and act like Trae Young was just hurt.
Hey,
Jake, I can't hear you. Your audio, it's
What?
Yeah, your audio's in and out, bro. Again, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, are there any other talking points you guys want to cover before we load up the NBA mock draft? Let you guys go at it.
What's good, Renegade? No, Mo said. Did you guys read that question? What Mo put?
Do you think the NFL draft having the success it has is putting pressure on the NBA and MLB draft to make changes?
I think it's the NHL. I think the NHL draft is putting pressure, in my opinion.
NHL draft is 7 rounds, just like the NFL, Emmanuel, and they do a lottery, but they show you the actual lottery combinations and the odds of each team getting the number 1
This app
pick.
is being shit
So it's
tonight.
legit. It's way more legit than the NBA because everything with the NBA is still behind closed doors. MLB's the same way.
You guys can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, it's
cool,
better.
cool.
It's better. Yeah.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. This app is being so shit tonight. Sorry, pardon me, everybody, but
But yeah, they're going to move the MLS draft from December to June. So you're going to have, because it used to be back in the day, Emmanuel, before the MLB draft went to the All-Star game, the MLB draft used to be in June with the NBA and NHL drafts. Now, they're with the MLS wanting to do a summer to spring schedule like the Premier League, the English Premier League. Now you're going to have the 2027 MLS draft in June with the NBA and NHL drafts. And then you're going to have MLB in July. And that's kind of convenient because it's going to allow me to focus strictly on NFL from September to April. I can work on some soccer. I can work on some WNBA on the side too. But it's going to allow me to lock the blank in on football content for most of the year. And then I can pivot to the other sports.
Got you.
But yeah, let's unless you guys got any objections, let's fire up the NBA draft and let you guys
let's go for it. Let's go for it.
I'm gonna screen share this, and yeah, I'm gonna let Emmanuel, Tone, and Jake be the GMs. You guys can pick the order you go in. We'll take turns, but I'm gonna let you guys pick the order you want to go in. So who wants number 1 here? We're not gonna do 2 rounds. We're just gonna do the first round. But yes, the Wizards are on the clock. This is apparently the timer. I have it set to 8 minutes. I don't know the default time. I can adjust that later. But yeah, This is
You
and
guys
I'll
want me to
post a link to all of
Go.
I'll post a link to all these simulators in the YouTube page. So if you want to replay the NFL draft or the NHL draft or any of the drafts, the links will be in the description.
Okay, go for it, Jake.
Yeah, Jake is on the clock. You've got the Wizards. You've got the number 1 pick.
Now I know that this is going to sound very, very wild, but I just think that the Wizards have too many wings for me to go Dabansa. I think that Darren Peterson is going to end up being the number 1 overall pick of this draft because you pair him up at the 2 guard and you pair him up with Trae Young. Then you have a starting 5. It goes Trae Young. It goes Darren Peterson. You're going to have Keyshawn George. You're going to also have Will Riley. There's Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr. They have so many big bodies. I don't know why you would draft
Koulibaly too. Koulibaly too.
And
if you don't want
Koulibaly, yes.
Exactly.
So I'm going Darren Peterson. Darren Peterson has to be the first pick of this draft.
All right, Darren Peterson's the number 1 pick, and he's main position's a shooting guard. But if he goes to Utah, I think he'll play the point, and I think he's going to go to Utah. But in this mock, Jake has Peterson going number 1 as a shooting guard. So just for clarification,
as a two, he's the number 1 pick, easy.
As a 2,
I'm not gonna lie.
So
I'm not gonna lie. You threw me off with that pick, but to me, this is the obvious. AJ Dabansa going to Utah, staying in his home state.
That's
played at
why.
BYU. Danny Ainge is happy because his boy played at his alma mater. Tone, you know what I'm saying? To me, this is a no-brainer. AJ Dabansa to Utah, both parties is happy. You know what I'm saying? So Dabansa number 2, you can't pass up for Utah.
All right, Tone, you've got number 3 here, and we've got Boozer and we got Wilson here, and it's the Memphis Grizzlies. They need a 4 to round out the starting 5 since they traded Jaren Jackson to the Utah Jazz.
I'm curious, Tone. I'm curious who you gonna pick.
I'm gonna go with my man Boozer. I'm gonna go with Boozer. I think he's a better pick.
I think Boozer is the better fit for Memphis, though.
Yep.
Wilson might have the better career, but I think
Wilson is the better player, but Boozer fits Memphis.
No, that's fair. Yes. That's totally fair.
All right. Do you want Caleb Wilson at 4? I can also pull up certain positions if you want. See available prospects. It says list every position, but if there's a certain position you want, I can pull up the board.
I really honestly think that Caleb Wilson probably will be the 4th pick because of the fact that Buzelis is going to transition to the 3, and I think that Caleb Wilson is going to play that 4 over in Chicago. I really do.
I think they're interchangeable, Jake.
Because
I think Buzelis played the 4 this year for the injured power forward, and I think Wilson can play the 3 or the 4. But regardless, he's going to be that second forward.
I agree. And one more thing before we move forward, just real quick, I also believe that Buzelis is going to form into more of like a stretch role because of the fact that Caleb Wilson is so good with the ball in his hands. I think that's kind of what's going to end up happening for sure.
No lie, I like Caleb in Chicago. He'll have an opportunity to be one of the top scoring options on that team, Tone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like Caleb in Chicago. And hopefully, and I know the Bulls are thinking, hopefully it's under the Michael Jordan effect.
That's what I was about to say.
The Clippers. Clippers
White,
on the
Michael
clock.
Jordan, and that's it. Kobe White, Michael Jordan, and Caleb Wilson. Those are the only Tar Heels drafted by the Bulls. They've drafted 3.
So this is the interesting one, y'all. What about the Clippers? What you thinking?
Emmanuel, your Clippers. You've got number 5.
Should I take it?
Should
I take it? Okay. Oh, scroll down. I'm gonna go with.
I could scroll down, or I could click on a certain position. But
me personally, I'm going based. See, Jake, I'm going based on what the Clippers are gonna pick. Okay. I'm going based on what they're gonna pick. I think they're going to take Michael Brown from Louisville over Acuff and Fleming.
That's interesting.
I like that.
I like it.
No, Jake, the reason why I'm saying it is because he worked out for the Clippers and they loved his workout. You know what I'm saying? So I have a gut feeling the Clippers are going to take Michael Brown from Louisville at number 5.
All right.
To
All right.
me,
No. Sports. I
like
like
that.
that. I like that. I really like that fit.
So I'm gonna say Michael Brown for the Clippers, Tone. To be honest
He
with
could
you,
learn a lot from Darius Garland as well. That's a great.
the funny thing is his game is somewhat like Garland. That's the funny part.
Yeah. So
It's
wait, who's
somewhat.
number 6 again? Who's the 6th pick again? I can't remember.
I think Tony he's still
Well, no,
there.
yeah, Tone, but
Yeah,
we're
I'm
the
here.
Nets, right? It's the Nets. Okay.
So who am I looking at here?
You're looking at the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets.
I can go best player available. I can click on a certain position. You let me know what you want.
Best player available.
Wagler is out of Illinois.
I think that's smart. No Cam Thomas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's a smart pick.
That's a smart move right there.
Yeah.
All right. Wagler, the best player on the board, is the Brooklyn Net. And then we get back to Jake. You got the Sacramento Kings at 7, but whenever
I'm curious who you're going to go.
All right, go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Keep on scrolling. I know, crazy, but I seriously think, I honestly think that the Sacramento Kings just drafted 2 other bigs the last draft or 2. So actually go up. My bad. They're not going to re-sign Russell Westbrook. They're going to go with Darius Akuff. Darius Akuff is going to be a Sacramento King.
That is who I have.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, Jake, on that one.
Because we don't know how good Devin Carter is going to be, and we all know that that Darius Akuff's coach is known for putting some of the best guards in the NBA into the NBA. So give me a Cuff to the Kings. It fits very well.
I think Flemings is the best defender of the point guards, but a Cuff is probably the most.
100%.
I'm gonna say this, Sacramento. If you get a Cuff, don't blow it again like you did Halliburton and Fox. Don't blow it. Because I'm telling you, A Cuff has some upside. Tone. I'm high on him.
This is an interesting one, Sport. Who do you have for the Atlanta Hawks? This is an interesting one, in my opinion.
I don't think they're going to get Fleming. I love Flemings because while
they have too many guards.
Yeah, I know. He plays at his home. He plays at his own pace. Let me scroll down. So yeah, Fleming's the best available, but they're not going to get him.
Mara, Visar, I've got a Ment Lopez. He's from Mexico. He's gonna be the first player born in Mexico. Lendyborg, and then I've got Filan. Filan averaged 22 points in Alabama.
Wait. Is this the Hawks pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this is the pick where it's going to be a lot of action in terms of a lot of teams. Boston is trying to trade with Atlanta for this pick.
This could be a trade.
Yeah, I was about to say this is about to be a trade right here.
It's going to be a trade, but if my educated guess, a team's going to trade up and take Luxembourg from Michigan.
I agree. Even if the team doesn't trade up, Luxembourg would actually fit pretty well in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Luxembourg will be the pick. Tone. I hire him as a high efficient role player in this draft.
All right, Tone. What
Lakers
you think for Dallas?
Lakers get him, please.
What you think for Dallas, Tone? This is the Dallas Mavericks pick right here.
And no pressure, Tone. You cannot screw up any worse than Nico Harrison.
I'm going to screw up just like Nico Harrison. I'm about to do it real bad. I'm going to do it bad. I'm taking Kingston.
You know what? Yeah.
And then in 2035, you're going to trade him for the
2030. Right.
You're going to trade him for the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yep, we're going to trade with the Clippers.
But you know what, Tone? I actually like this pick because if Kyrie's out for a certain amount of time, Flemings could get some good run.
Oh, yeah.
And Flemings is a good defender to have out there while Cooper Flagg is getting most of the buckets. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who's up next? Who's this next pick?
I believe we're back to
I just meant the team. What team is it?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks. I think that they're going to be going for a franchise cornerstone right here, since they probably most likely are going to be trading Giannis. And if you could just go down the list for me real quick.
Nate Ament
I
is
was
there.
just about to say, yes, Nate Ament is going to be a Milwaukee Buck. I think that he has the physicality for it. I think that he's just that type of forward that's going to be able to hopefully somewhat replace Giannis, even though, it's impossible to actually replace Giannis. But if you're going to get a guy that's going to try and do that, it's going to be Nate Amen. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh.
All right, sports, you're up, brother.
What's the team?
The current team at number 11, it is the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, this might be Mara.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to take Mara. They don't have that much depth in the front line. So I take Mara to Golden State, Tom. Actually, this will be a solid pick for
That's a really
Oh,
good
the
pick.
Thunder. Oh, right here, Tone. Who you got for OKC, brother?
For OKC, they need another big because Chet's not doing it.
I like Visar, but if you were looking for a pure 4, I think the only 4 that's 6'10" still on the board is Hans Steinbeck. He's a freshman at Washington. He had a pretty good year. He played the 5 at center too, but he's a natural.
He's a natural 4. Are there any more 4s?
You could get Morris Johnson. He played the 3 at Michigan, but he's projected to play the 4 in the NBA. That's the other guy still.
I'm gonna go with him.
Johnson.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
And they're third Wolverine in the lottery.
Yeah. Wolverines in the lottery, They're dominating.
They've got the fits. There's too many good fits, really. But all right, so we got the Miami
and then
Heat.
the Miami Heat. This pick probably will be if the Heat win the if the Heat win the Giannis sweepstakes. This will be Milwaukee's pick.
So we just had a men go to the Bucks. So if we assume that this is probably going to end up being the Milwaukee Bucks pick, I would have to say that you have so many good guards, and you just got Nate Amen to try and patch up Giannis. I honestly think that you go with that forward from Washington that you were just talking about. I don't think you go Henry because he's not that much of an offensive player.
There's not a lot of 6'10" power forwards in this draft.
Yeah, and you just traded Giannis. Yeah, I think easily it's going to be Hans.
Mm-hmm.
If it ends up being the Bucks, yes, it's going to be Hans.
Hans may not be a superstar, but because there is a lack of 6'10" bigs in this draft that can average 10 points a game, that can hit 3-pointers, Hans is going to get pushed up as a result of that. The lowest he'll drop to is like 19, and he could end up sneaking up into the lottery simply due to the demand for the position.
Mm-hmm. Even for Miami, he would not be bad next to Bam if they ended up.
Okay, Emmanuel. You got the Hornets at 14. They do need a center to round out that starting 5. I'm a lot higher on Henry Visar than the consensus is. I have him in the lottery.
This is the thing, and I think this is a good position for Charlotte because keep in mind they could lose Kobe White. Let's keep in mind with that. There's been talks about Kobe White leaving, so if he leaves, I'll say Burries gets selected to Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I know this Tar Heel connection with Charlotte. Charlotte in state. Jordan doesn't want to go against this guy. I'm gonna say Visar gets selected to the Charlotte Hornets. He stays in state.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick. That's a good one.
I think the Hornets, they've got 14 and they've got 18, so I figured they are going to take a center with one of those two picks.
The Bulls.
Are back
All right,
They're back with the Bulls. Chicago, Chi-Town.
Yep. And the Bulls took Caleb Wilson.
So
at 4,
what does the Bulls actually need right now?
They really honestly, if I had to guess, and I know this is your pick, but if I had to guess, they really do need some big men. They've been rumored to sign Isaiah Hartenstein. They really need a big, whether it's a super tall 4 or a 5.
I mean, the best big on the board, these bigs are kind of small. They're 3s that play the 4. They play the 4 well in college, but they've got the size of 3s. And Sanak doesn't average 10
what
points
happened
a game,
to
but
the
from a
big
shooting
man?
standpoint, he brings the most to the table. Sanak probably brings the most to the table of the bigs left in this draft.
Sanak might be the option, honestly.
Yes, Sanak might be the option.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
let's go with that.
Yeah. It's gonna have to be Sanak. Because they lack bigs. Their best
There's no
young
bigs,
big
man.
is like Leonard Miller. Yeah. All right. So we got the Grizzlies.
Yes, Jake, the Grizzlies. Who are we going to pair with Cameron Boozer at number 16?
Well, man, see, this is the weird thing because they have so much good young talent. They've got Cam Spencer, they've got freaking Coward, they've got Gigi Jackson. They've got so much young talent. I think that this is the point where also there's rumors of trading John Morant. I think
I was
you
just about to say that if they're going to trade John Morant,
you go best player available. You go
right.
Braden Burries.
Well, this is the thing. Filan averaged 22 points a game at Alabama this past season. So if you want to trade Morant, you could get Filan and potentially reload.
I think that if they're going to play anybody at guard, I think if they play anybody at point guard, it's going to end up being Coward. I know that he's a little bit taller, not really a point guard, but I think that's I don't know. You know what? For the scoring purpose, I think we go Filan here. For the scoring capability, yeah. If they trade Ja, that makes the most sense.
All right. Okay, Emmanuel. Number 17, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Man, the rich get richer. Holy shit.
Listen. If Burries is on the board where the Thunder is at, that's a steal. They're going to take Burries.
They're going to have to, yeah.
They're going to take Burries. I'm going to tell you why. Especially with Lou Dort, Casey Wallace might leave. You know what I'm saying? They already just traded, what's his name? Wiggins to Atlanta. Yeah. So Burries makes a lot of sense, Tone. You know what I'm saying? For OKC, from Arizona. Yeah. He definitely gets taken by OKC.
All right. Yep. All right. Who we got next? Tone, we got the Hornets, Tone.
Hornets have the Magic's pick, and it's Tony making it. So, yeah. Ooh. I think this has got to be a forward because Bridges is in the final year of his contract, and Brandon Miller's an RFA after this season too.
Who's up on the board?
Karim Lopez.
You are up.
No, I mean, yeah.
Oh, the Hornets.
Top forwards are Lopez and Evans at the 3, and the top 4s are 6'7" power forwards. I can scroll down if you want and see if there's a bigger forward. I like Ejiofor, but the problem is a lot of these forwards are. The forwards that are bigger are liabilities.
Right, I was about to say, kind of slow.
That's the problem.
Honestly, if y'all, Tone, I know it sounds crazy, but have you thought about Quentin's?
I like Kareem Lopez from he's born in Mexico, really did well over in Australia. Yeah. I think that's probably the best fit. And he could be a rotational 3 as well as a rotational.
To me,
4.
Right. To me, he's the most intriguing prospect in this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'll say he's the most intriguing prospect in the draft.
Okay.
He's a very good defender.
Yeah, he is.
Well, we're going to go ahead and make that call. Put Lopez in there.
All right.
That's interesting. Charlotte's looking good.
Yeah. And Toronto, it is Jake, you've got Toronto at 19.
Toronto's totally fine. Toronto's totally fine with their bigs. They've missed on Grady Dick. I don't think that Grady Dick's going to end up being that good.
I know the perfect pick. I know. Ooh.
I was going to say Cameron Carr would be the best pick, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Carr would be a good option
because
as well.
Also you never know because outside of Quickly, I mean
it's Morris, Johnson, Cameron Carr, or Sturts. I think those are the 3 most likely options.
Me personally, they don't have enough shooting. Alan Graves from Santa Clara will stretch the floor out for Toronto.
But I don't. That's not how they run their offense, though. They run a lot through Scotty, and they run a lot of point forward. So I just don't think.
Yeah, because I watched the tape of these power forwards. Even though they're 6'7", they're great defensively. Graves, Pete, Ejiofor from St. John's, all of them are great defensively, despite their height. And this is the height without their shoes on, by the way.
That Carr,
you put shoes on these players, they're a little taller.
I just think that Carr also brings something to the table that a lot of the guards that are already on Toronto don't. And is that Carr can really create his own shot. And you don't really get that a lot with anybody other than maybe like RJ Barrett. So I think that it's pretty beneficial for them to have a guy like Carr.
Agreed.
All right, Sport. We got the Spurs, brother. What are you thinking?
They're definitely getting a power forward, and Why not get him a stretch 4 in Alan Graves from
That's
Santa
a
Clara?
great pick. I was thinking the
That's
same
who I
thing.
got to the Spurs at 20. That's who I got to the Spurs at 20
They need some shooting,
well.
some guys who can defend at the 4. I like Graves from Santa Clara.
All right.
So everyone in the top 20 is gone. I think that's, even though we might disagree on where these players are ranked, everyone in my consensus top 20 is gone. I think that says something about the strength at the top of this draft.
Yeah.
So now we got the Pistons, Tone.
That's
we got
Tone.
the Pistons.
And Tone's pick with the Detroit,
So
Minnesota's pick.
they're going to be moving off of Stewart, right?
Stewart, Tobias Harris is a free agent as well.
So we're looking at some power forwards and centers.
Koa Pete. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
here
like
we go.
that.
Right there.
Ooh, I love that pick.
I love that pick. That's a
I love
good
that
spot.
Right
Good
there.
spot.
Yeah, that is a good spot.
So who we got next? The Sixers.
76ers.
Oh, all day. They need their Jared McCain replacement. Give me Bennett Sturts. Give me Sturts all day. All day.
Okay.
And now it's Emmanuel back on the clock with the Atlanta Hawks from the Cavs.
Swain is the prototypical NBA 2 guard. You know what I'm saying, Jake?
Yeah, I've got Swain to Atlanta at 23 as well. That's my best player.
He's a prototypical 2 guard, my opinion. Go ahead, scroll down a little bit. So
I think you accidentally picked
up
him.
At 24.
You said who?
Yeah. I think Tony's up at 24, and the Knicks are on the clock. And I gave the Knicks Quaidens because he's the best defensive center in the draft. I don't think he's great offensively, but if you're looking for a short-term replacement for Mitchell Robinson that you can develop into a good backup to Towns, Quaidens is your man.
Right.
As a Knicks fan, I love that idea.
I would go with that because they're not really going to be looking for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and he's not a great scorer, but he is a great shot blocker, great defender.
I mean, if you're replacing Robinson, it's like putting him right back, a whole nother Robinson.
Yeah.
All right, who is here at this pick?
Lakers.
Oh, the Lakers.
What is it? Who is it? Me or Jake?
It's me.
It's Jake.
Okay. Listen, guys, timeout. Chris, I think you misheard Sport because Sport, I don't think, was trying to pick that guy for Atlanta, and you just kind of picked him. But it's all right. It's all good. We're past it. I'm trying to get everybody on the same page. That's all. All right.
Fair enough, Jake.
So now I'm at 25, and we've got the Los Angeles Lakers. Can I see what kind of bigs we have left? What we're looking at over here?
I do like Luigi Swigo. Even though his points per game went down this year from 10 to 8, he made more shots from mid-range and long range, which was his biggest weakness heading into the season. So he fixed his biggest weakness despite his points per game decreasing. Luigi Swigo, I had him in the lottery my preseason mock back in October. I know he's a second-round guy now, but I am very high on Swigo.
I don't even think that he's second round. I really think that with that size, that's the type of center that Luka Doncic has always succeeded with. Give me Luigi. Give me him. Easily.
Right. I disagree, but it's all good, though. It's all good.
I just think the size, because Derek Lively was the same type of center, and that's how Luka
You could also
succeeded.
go Isaiah Evans and replace Roy Hachimura, but regardless, Emmanuel's up, the Nuggets are up, and I mean, the next player in their starting 5 that's a UFA is Michael, the guy replacing Michael Porter Jr., Cameron Johnson. So you could get Evans, you could get Harrison.
To me, this is obvious. I'm gonna say Isaiah Evans because they could lose out on Braun and trade him. Jamal Murray might be gone, so I think Isaiah Evans to the Nuggets makes a lot of sense.
All right. Fair enough. And then the Boston Celtics. Do you want to say F Boston, Tone, before you make the Celtics pick? It's also possible this pick gets traded to the Bucks.
Fuck them. Now I'm picking the lowest guy on the thing. Who's the lowest one?
We got to go all the way down to
pick
60
him.
here.
That's the guy.
Oh, my goodness. Come on, guys.
There you go.
Nah, but with
You're
Jalen,
welcome,
but
Boston.
really though, with Jalen Brown getting potentially getting
The
moved.
lowest player on our board is the teammate of Luigi Swigo, Pavel Bacco.
That's who I'm
Bacco
going
averaged
with
4
for the
points per
Boston
game.
Celtics. Woohoo!
Oh
Baco.
my lord! All right, who is next on the board? The team.
All right, you are back up. Final pick for you, and then it's the Timberwolves from the Pistons.
Ah man, you see, the Timberwolves are already doing very well in the guard position. I think that the Timberwolves need some more help as far as big men go because they have Naz Reid, they have Rudy Gobert, but I really think that a guy like a Terrace Reed might actually really help them out. He's got that Naz Reid kind of body almost, and I don't know. I really like that fit. Does anybody have any objections on that? I really think Terrace Reed would fit well as a backup big because Behringer hasn't really been too great to start his NBA career. So I don't know.
Where's Reed going to?
I was thinking Minnesota.
That's not a bad pick.
Yeah, I think Terrace Reed, Minnesota, because they could lose Naz Reed. So yeah.
Yeah. And then Emmanuel's back up with the Cavs at 29. Spurs pick. Both these top two pick BPAs on the board are seniors, Caravan and Martinelli. Anderson's a sophomore redshirt. Corey's a true freshman coming out of his freshman year at Stanford. So, I mean, it just depends on what they do with Harden. I think there's a lot of possibilities in play for the Cavs, Emmanuel.
I say they get a role player in Alex Caravan.
I mean, he was part of all of Connecticut's championship teams. 3 championship finals teams, 2 champion winners. And then the Mavericks at 30 to wrap this up, Tone.
Dallas Mavericks back on the board.
Yep.
Okay.
You get to put Nico Harrison in his place once again.
Here we go. This is for Nico. You need a small forward. Is there any small forwards up there?
There are 2. Martinelli played all 4 years at Northwestern, never entered the portal, and he's had 2 seasons where he's had over 20 points a game. Everyone has a second-round grade on Martinelli. I think he's a dark horse to crack the first round.
Right.
Another guy, though, is Baba Miller of Cincinnati. And I could scroll down even further. You got Hall from Auburn, Williams from NC State, Nickel from Vanderbilt, and Tyson, who's more of a wing.
We'll just go with Nick. It's time for him to step up.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys only want to draft for the first round, we'll hit auto draft and see what happens. The Knicks and basically all auto draft does, it gives the computer the best player available. So the Knicks get Anderson. Grizzlies get Okorie. The Nets get Jaden Bradley from Arizona. Malik Thomas. Ejiofor is a Spur. Conwell. But yeah, that's basically the draft simulator. And then once we get to pick 60, the draft is over. That's basically how the simulator works. And we made it so there's exactly 60 players. And Tennessee State has the last pick in the draft. And once the board's orange, that means we're out of prospects. But yeah, there's not 61 picks, but I have to add a 61st pick just to get the simulator to show all 60 players picked. That's how the code works. But yeah, that's the draft, guys. What do you think?
Man, nice. It's dope. That was a good
I think I did really well for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, and I made one of those for all of the sports. MLS, WNBA. I'm working on one for MLB in a few weeks, and NHL one's almost done. And then for Friday in the NFL, I've got one up. So July 13th, the day after the MLB draft, I'm going to start creating the 2027 boards. Because the lesson I learned this year was instead of waiting for the draft order to be finalized, start creating your boards in the summer and then adjust the draft order later and then leak the whole simulator. I think that's the learning experience. That's the takeaway.
Boston Celtics and the Clippers should always have me pick for them.
Yeah. Hey, Chris. Jake's in backstage.
All right, cool. Let me turn Jake. Let me turn your
thank
camera
you.
on.
Sorry,
I
guys.
apologize for that.
My app has been being stupid tonight.
No worries. I'm done with the simulator. I'm gonna scroll out, go back to normal size cameras, so that because we're done with that. But it was fun. We had a lot of fun with that, though.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's really the way that the draft could go in a lot of spots. I really think so.
and this was fun.
love.
I'm sure you can't wait to do this with the NFL draft
Dude,
next year,
my goodness.
Emmanuel.
Oh man, y'all are gonna call me obnoxious with the way that I do I do my NFL draft.
Hey, Chris, are you gonna do a NBA free agency? Are you gonna go?
We can do an NBA free agency show for Sportshead on July 1st or the week after the NBA draft. I know we're doing an NBA show for Draft Utopia tomorrow,
Right.
But we can do a free agency show for Sportshead Radio because I think the NBA and NHL free agency is on July 1st, so we can both.
That's gonna be wild.
For free
I already
agency.
know.
Man, bro, I can't wait for free agency.
I can't wait either.
The Ottawa Senators got more for Brady Tkachuk than the Browns got for Myles Garrett. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that because Myles Garrett's a way better player than Brady Tkachuk.
I think
Tkachuk's career high for points is 83 points. He's never had a 100-point season. I know he's the captain of Ottawa. I know he wants to play with his older brother Matthew Tkachuk in Florida, but 3 first-round picks for him. He has an injury history. I feel like that might be an overpay, especially if Florida can't secure a goalie or win a third cup in 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm getting Deshaun Watson vibes with that trade, Emmanuel.
Hopefully Tkachuk doesn't like massage parlors.
Oh man.
Massage Watson. Yo, you know that a trade was bad when you tear your Achilles and your home stadium cheers. When Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles, the Brown Stadium erupted in cheers.
That's crazy.
That should tell you everything you need to know about how bad that trade was.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, boys, I'm excited. I love this little group that we got going on. I think that we could do something with this. I really do. I think that we all got the kind of like humorous knack and the knowledge on top of being funny. I think that we could do something. We could end up like the Deep 3 podcast or some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, man, I appreciate it, man, but I think this might wrap it up for the podcast. I appreciate y'all hopping on. Go ahead, Jake. Plug them with your socials.
A lot of intelligent comments in 90 minutes. I'm sure this is going to get just as many views, maybe more than the NHL draft show I did on Saturday, which is already at 150. I think this is going to get to like 200, maybe 300, but I don't want to set expectations. I just want to keep things as they are and have fun with this.
Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, Jake's Takes on Sports on TikTok. That's the only place I really am. I'm planning on doing more stuff in the future, but I got to get moved first. Moving states right now. So not doing too much, but you guys can catch me on Jake's Takes on Sports on TikTok. So
yeah, that's cool. Tone, go ahead, plug them with your socials and everything, bro.
You can find me on Instagram, Tony Mac Music. Also, you can find me on Spotify. Got a lot of artists. Alana, Zeta Fox, King Petty. Check them out. They're all on Spotify as well on Seuss.com. That's SOUXES.com.
Nice. Man, you already know Fabi on TikTok, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Mainly those two. You know what I'm saying? I'm on SoundCloud as well, but I'm not on SoundCloud as much, but mainly TikTok and Instagram. Just to simplify it.
Shit.
Tone's funny. He's like, and OnlyFans, and this, and that.
Yo.
Yeah,
right.
And in Toy Story 6, Woody and Bo Peep, they are going to fight over the dry cornbread in divorce court. Who gets custody of the dry cornbread? That is going to be the plot for Toy Story 6.
Oh, yeah, but on
Toy
TikTok,
Story 7, Buzz is on welfare.
Oh,
Cooked.
but yeah, you guys follow me on TikTok.
Toy Story 8, Mr. Potato Head opens up a barn, an actual farm with barn animals.
Toy Story 9, Rex is in an AAA meeting. He has a problem with alcohol.
And Sid is the counselor. Sid is the alcohol anonymous counselor.
Toy Story 11, the Clippers win a championship.
Damn. That's got to be a movie.
That's got to be a movie. But on TikTok, we have Trivia Tuesdays. Jake and Draft Utopia knows.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
Yeah. I go live.
Yeah.
I go live at 10 p.m. Pacific time on the West
Toy
Coast.
Story 14. Woody and Buzz Lightyear suit up for the Sacramento Kings and Brooklyn Nets in the 2040 NBA Finals. Sacramento versus Brooklyn. It'll get canceled faster than Arrested Development. Yes.
Man, and the sad thing is that guys like Karl Malone and Josh Giddey, you can't go watch those. That's crazy.
Enough humor, enough comic relief. We will see you guys on TikTok later this
Peace
evening
out,
for Trivia
guys. Have a
Tuesday.
good one,
Peace out,
everybody.
guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right.